Well, it's been a while, but I'm back. It's March, which means it's March Madness. We did not have March Madness last year. I'm not gonna lie, I have not been really that involved in watching college basketball as a sport, as opposed to professional sports. But no matter who you are, you gotta do a bracket, man. You gotta go for that perfect, or it's supposed to be perfect or whatever, perfect bracket. I'm going to try to fill out a perfect bracket, give as much information to you as I can. I don't know about all of these teams, obviously. If you do want to figure out about all these teams, there are plenty of YouTube videos of guys doing breakdowns on all 68 teams. I don't have that time, so I'm good, but I'll give you the best possible bracket that I can to my knowledge. And usually on this channel, I would be talking about mostly like South Florida sports, Miami Dolphins. They're in free agency right now. Miami Heat, they're heating up. The NBA season is heating up. The Florida Panthers are killing it. And I'll have videos on that later. But today, we got the Final Four in March Madness in Indianapolis. It will be pretty exciting. Not the same with less fans, but it will be pretty exciting matchups. And we'll start here in the West. We got Gonzaga against Norfolk or Appalachian State. I personally don't care who wins the first four between Norfolk or App State. I'm going to go with Gonzaga. Gonzaga is one of the best teams in the league in this NCAA. They have phenomenal players. They're absolutely stacked. They have NBA players. Corey Kispert is a beast. Jalen Suggs, freshman phenom, Drew Timme, big guy. They are absolutely sensational, and they beat up on big teams. They beat Virginia. They beat Kansas. They crushed Iowa. I saw some of that Iowa game. It was a track meet, but Gonzaga absolutely outraced them. I got Gonzaga easy. Oklahoma, Missouri. This is going to be a good matchup. I think Missouri's guards are too much. Give me Missouri here. Creighton against UC Santa Barbara. UC Santa Barbara is a really popular upset pick. Right here, if you look at the matchup analysis, 57.2 got USCB. UCSB. I don't know much about Santa Barbara as a team, but I do know a little bit about Creighton, and I think Creighton, they got crushed by Georgetown, who is rolling. Georgetown won the Big East tournament, and they're up by as much as 35 against Creighton. And I think I'm going to have to go with UC Santa Barbara. It is a popular pick, but I think that UC Santa Barbara is a really good team. I've heard a lot of stuff about them, and I think Creighton's falling. So I got UC SB for my first upset of the day, and I got another one coming. Ohio beats Virginia. Wow, this is going to be kind of crazy that Virginia wins the national championship last tournament we had in 2019. And before that, they were the first 1 seed to lose, and they lost to a 16 seed. That was kind of crazy too, but now I got them losing in the first round here. Give me Ohio. Ohio's a pretty good team here. If you look at their stats, they're pretty decent defensively. They score a lot of points. And obviously, we all know Virginia has a pack line defense, but to me, Virginia has had COVID problems. They had to opt out of the tournament. And I think that Ohio's offense has a chance here, and they'll win. USC against Wichita State or Drake. I think Wichita State wins this game against Drake, and I think USC wins. I don't pay attention to the Pac-12 whatsoever. I found their games boring, but from what I know of USC, they have a really good player in Evan Mobley, and I think they're a decent team, and they should beat either one of these teams. Kansas against Eastern Washington. I got Kansas. Oregon against VCU. VCU has a high full court pressure defense, but I think Oregon will be fine in this game. And Iowa, which I watch a lot of, against Grand Canyon. Give me Iowa here. Okay, on to the next round. Gonzaga. Got Gonzaga, no problems about that. Santa Barbara against Ohio. The fact that I have a 12 or a 13 is ridiculous, but you got to go with some upsets here. And I'll take Santa Barbara here. Their magical run will continue on to the Sweet 16. USC, Kansas. Yeah, Kansas has had COVID problems. I think I got to go with USC here. They've been an up and down team, Kansas. They have been decent. If you see here, the suggested pick is actually USC. I think that they're slightly better. I've seen some of Kansas. They're very shaky at best. And I think that USC will win this game. And Oregon and Iowa, their offense is sensational. Oregon has a good offense too, but I think Iowa led by Luka Garza. They have shooters all around. They'll get to the Sweet 16 no problem. Gonzaga beats UC Santa Barbara to go to the Elite Eight. And I got Iowa here. And this is the matchup. I think everybody is expecting this matchup. It's hard to pick against Gonzaga and Iowa to make the Elite Eight. I think this is going to be a great matchup. They played last time in, I think, Texas. It was in a neutral site, and that game was a first 100. I'm pretty sure Gonzaga scored 90 plus in that game. It was a high scoring game. It will be tough for Iowa to keep up because Gonzaga is really good in the perimeter and they are really good inside. And I think Gonzaga just is too much for Iowa. I like Iowa. They are a great offensive team. They were not a great defensive team at the beginning of the year. They have improved a lot defensively, but they are still a step behind. I got Gonzaga making it to the Final Four. I'm pretty sure everyone's consensus pick for the Final Four, but I got Gonzaga. Moving on to the East region here, Michigan. I've seen a lot. I used to be a Michigan fan, and I've kept up with them recently. And obviously, they're one seed. So against whichever team makes it, I got Michigan. LSU against St. Bonaventure. The Bonnies against the Tigers. This is going to be interesting. Obviously, here the suggested pick has Bonaventure. Interesting. I think LSU is pretty good. They had a good fight with the number two seed Alabama in the SEC championship game. They have pretty good players. They have a forward inside Wofford who can get his own basket. They have really good guards, Javante Smart, Thomas, who can shoot. I think they're a well-balanced team. I was surprised when I saw 8th seed after the way they played in the SEC tournament, but I got LSU here. Colorado against Georgetown. As I said before with Creighton, I'm high on Georgetown. Patrick Ewing and these Hoyas. I don't know much about Colorado, sorry, but from what I've seen of Georgetown, they're heating it up, man. Their defense is sensational. They of late, they play really physical. They play hard. They have good guards in Harris and Blair. Blair is one of the best, guards in the Big East. He had like a 40-point game recently, and I think their defense is going to stifle the Buffaloes, and they're going to move on. FSU against UNC Greensboro. I got FSU. BYU against Michigan State or UCLA. I got Michigan State winning. I think this is going to be very tough. BYU and Michigan State. Michigan State has been so up and down, and I feel like picking BYU. They have a really good offense, BYU, but I think Michigan State. It depends on the day. Michigan State can win if they want to. If they have a good offensive day, they can win. They beat Illinois, Ohio State, and Michigan, both 1 and 2 seeds, so they can easily win. And this is tough, but I'm gonna go with BYU. I'm not that high on Michigan State, unlike other people, so I got BYU. Moving on, Texas and Albion Christian. I got Texas. I'm high on Texas. They're pretty good. UConn and Maryland. Interesting matchup here. Maryland has been up and down, as is UConn. But I'll go with UConn here. Bama against Iona. Nate Oates has Bama playing great. They are a really good team. They have a very interesting offense where they operate in the paint and as well as 3-pointers. Very balanced. But I think this team is most dangerous when they hit their 3-pointers. They'll be Iona. Iona is led by Rick Pitino, former Louisville coach. He's a great coach, but he's had some issues, and he is now at Iona. Nice for them. Moving on. Michigan and LSU. This is a tough game. I can see people picking LSU. I think, obviously, Michigan is without Isaiah Livers, their best player in my opinion. But whether he comes back or not, I think they have a chance to win this game. I think they will win. They're strong inside. They will do enough. They'll get the job done. That's what I think. And Michigan is really pretty good in the NCAA tournament. So I see Michigan pulling this off. This will be a close game. Georgetown and LSU. FSU. FSU gets it done. Georgetown is good, but I think FSU is too much for them. BYU and Texas. I got Texas. By the way, Texas is going to be a dangerous team to contend with. UConn and Bama. I think this will be actually a close game. Then you can see this matchup analysis is pretty close. I think this will be a close game. Both teams are good. UConn has a star. I don't remember his name, but they have a pretty good star player. But I think Alabama will come out. They'll score a lot of points. It will be a close game, but I think Alabama will get the job done. And so here I got Michigan, FSU, Texas, and Alabama, and I'm really going back and forth in this one. Michigan and Florida State. Florida State is not as good as they were years past. Michigan and Florida State met up a couple years ago, and Michigan won, but obviously these are two different teams. Florida State is a pretty good balanced team, and obviously if I want to go with the team that I want to win, I guess I'll say Michigan. But honestly, I gotta go with the Florida State Seminoles here. They have a lot of size, and I think they will do enough. They will stifle Michigan. I've seen Michigan enough to know that their offense has struggled at times, and when Hunter Dickinson does not get going, Hunter Dickinson is a center for the Michigan Wolverines, and really most of the offense revolves around him. So if that center for Michigan doesn't get going, they may have some problems. And FSU has a lot of size inside, so I can see them creating problems for Michigan. And I see the Wolverines getting bounced out. As tough as it is for me to say, I see Michigan getting bounced out. Texas and Alabama. I see Texas moving on. Texas is that good. They have three great guards. Courtney Ramey, Matt Coleman, and Andrew Jones. They have been battle tested. Their coach, Shaka Smart, is battle tested. They're really made for the NCAA tournament, and I think this is going to be one of those teams that just comes out above everyone else. And this is as close as it gets. They're picking Alabama. I think Alabama's good, but they may struggle from the three-point line, and they may not score enough to beat Texas. So I got Texas here. FSU against Texas. Whew. By the way, Texas has two really good NBA draft prospects on the front court in Jericho Sims and Brown. They're pretty good. This is going to be an interesting game. A lot of size in this game, but I think Texas' guards will get them done, and they will make the Final Four. So moving on to the South region, we got Baylor and Hartford. I got Baylor, great team. UNC Wisconsin. I got UNC. Nova Winthrop. This is interesting. A lot of people picking Winthrop in this game. Possibly their star guard for Villanova, Colin Gillespie, may be out. It will be very interesting. I don't know who to pick, to be honest. I do want to pick Villanova or Winthrop. I don't know. I think Winthrop's a pretty good offensive team. They score 79.5 points a game. They can get the job done here. But I think since everyone's picking Winthrop, I got to pick Villanova here. They'll get the job done. Purdue, UNT, North Texas, Purdue, Texas Tech, and Utah State. A lot of people picking Utah State again. They did not look that impressive to me in the MAC championship, so I'm a little surprised that people are picking Utah State. I think Texas Tech has enough. Mac McClung is a pretty good player. They have enough. Arkansas and Colgate, very interesting game. This is going to be so fun. Matchup analysis has Colgate to win here. These are two highly skilled offensive teams. First to 100 wins. You got to tune into this game, but I think Arkansas wins. Florida and Virginia Tech, interesting matchup here. Florida has Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann, or I'm not sure if that's his name, but they got a guy named Mann at guard. He's really good. Virginia Tech is also good. It's going to be tough to see who to pick. I'll go with Virginia Tech here. Ohio State and Oral Roberts, Ohio State. Moving on, Baylor, UNC. UNC can create some problems for Baylor. Baylor have really good guards, but UNC is they got to be top in rebounds. They're really good. Yeah, rebound margin, 11.2. Sensational. They had a 25 offensive rebound game. They are really good on the boards. That can create problems for Baylor, but Baylor will get the job done. Nova and Purdue. Purdue is loaded inside Purdue. Texas Tech and Arkansas. I got Arkansas. Ohio State and Virginia Tech. I got Ohio State. Moving on, Baylor and Purdue. This will be a nice game, but I think Baylor's guards get it done. They have 3 NBA-ready guards, and not Mark Vito. He's the forward. Jared Butler, Maceo Teague, and one more I'm forgetting, but they have 3 really good guards. Arkansas and Ohio State. Interesting game here. I haven't watched much of Arkansas. They seem good, but I don't know. How are they good? It depends how they are really inside to me. You can see they have a 4.2 rebound margin. They score really well. They're good defensively, and this will be interesting. I'll go with Arkansas here. Baylor versus Arkansas. I think Baylor makes the Final Four. They have to improve defensively, but I can see Baylor making it. And by the way, I may change these if I have any eureka moments. But for now, this is it. In the last section of the bracket, the Midwest, Illinois and Drexel. Illinois, they're gonna be a very fun team to watch. Loyola Chicago and Georgia Tech. I've seen this game on headlines a lot in terms of which games will be the most interesting. I'm back and forth on this one. Clearly, this matchup analysis is overwhelmingly says Loyola Chicago. I disagree. First to 60 wins this game. I think if Georgia Tech wants to win this game, it's funny that Georgia Tech, an academic school, getting in. Very surprising to me. But they're a pretty good team. They have the ACC Player of the Year in Moses Wright, Georgia Tech does, and the ACC Defensive Player of the Year in Jose Alvarado. They got a guy named Usher on their team. Yeah, so they're an interesting team to watch. If you like defense, this is your team. Loyola Chicago has a great center in Cameron Krutwig. He's their offensive spark. And you have a 101-year-old sister Jean there. And this is going to be so tough. It sucks because Georgia Tech got a tough draw here. If they would play another team, they would win. I got to go with the Ramblers, setting up an all-Chicago matchup here. But here we got Tennessee, Oregon State. Nice to see Oregon State getting out of from nowhere, but they're picked to finish last in the Pac-12, yet they get in. I got Tennessee. Oklahoma State, watch out for them. They're going to be lethal with Cade Cunningham. Pretty much everyone thinks he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. He's really good. San Diego State against Syracuse Orange. I got Syracuse in the 11-6 upset. They have a really streaky guard in Buddy Boeheim. He is playing great. They almost beat Virginia, lost at the buzzer, but they lost at the buzzer. What can you do? And they have a really good zone that stifles teams in the NCAA tournament if you look at the past. West Virginia and Morehead State, West Virginia. Clemson, Rutgers. Give me Rutgers here, man. It's been a while since Rutgers got in. It's going to be first to 40. No, sorry, first to 50 probably. It's going to be a defensive struggle. I haven't seen much of Clemson. They have pretty good victories, but they seem to be stumbling. Houston, Cleveland State. Houston's really good. I got Houston. Moving on. Illinois against Loyola Chicago. The battle for Chicago. I got Illinois. Tennessee, Oklahoma State. I got Cade Cunningham and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Moving on. The Houston, West Virginia. I got West Virginia and their full court press. Rutgers and Houston. Rutgers season ends there. A little disappointing because they started off in the top 25, but Houston gets it done. And here we go, Sweet 16. Illinois and Oklahoma State. Wow, this may be the game of the year. We have two sensational guards in Ayo Dosunmu of Illinois and Cade Cunningham in Oklahoma State. I think overall, though, Illinois is a better team. They have Kofi Cockburn inside. They are just overall better than Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State, watch out. As long as Cade Cunningham is there, they're dangerous. So watch out for this game. Hopefully in the Sweet 16, we got to get this game. Next up, Houston and West Virginia. Very interesting. Houston is a little small of a team, but Calvin Sampson has really the same team every year, but not as talented, but they're really good. They play in the same conference as UCF, who's my favorite team. And I've seen a little bit of Houston, but enough to know. They have a lot of 6'5" to 6'7" players, but they all rebound the ball. They play a pesky defense. They're a good team. But I got West Virginia in there. Full court press. They'll create havoc for Houston. And I don't know though. I'm thinking about it again. I think I've seen Houston enough to know. I think Houston will win this game. I switched that pick. I'm probably going to be wrong, but I'll switch it. Illinois and Houston for the chance at a Final Four. I got Illinois. I'm high on Illinois. I love Illinois. I think they're really good. They're a little young, but they're really good. So this is my Final Four. Is there anything I can change? Is there anything I would change? I need to think about that quickly. I don't know. I want to see Ohio State make it. They've looked good, but again, I don't think Ohio State's going to make it. As long as Baylor cleans up their defensive problems of late. I think they'll make the Final Four. I can definitely see Illinois making the Final Four. Obviously, Texas was a team was not the team that obviously everyone expected, but looking back at it, I think Texas is makes sense. They have a really good team. You want to see Texas against FSU. I mean, Texas seems very good all around. They have great guards. They have good enough forwards. So I can see Texas winning this game. Definitely making it out of this bracket, especially if this goes down right here. FSU beats Michigan, which is again very possible. FSU can easily beat Michigan. They have the ability. They definitely do. They have the size that Michigan. Although Michigan has that big center, Hunter Dickinson, they kind of lack size. So that can be an issue. And especially with no Isaiah Livers, I can see Michigan going down. It's tough to see Juwan Howard. He's a great coach, but I see him going down. I have no issues here. I mean, obviously, these two upsets are going to be probably ridiculous, but I can see this happening. Next up here, Lucas Oil Stadium on April 3rd. We got these two championship matchups. I got Gonzaga and Texas facing off. I got Baylor and Illinois facing off. And unfortunately, I can't go against the grain here. I gotta go with Gonzaga. Gonzaga is just that good. You can tell they're gonna win. First undefeated season since Indiana did it apparently in the 1970s. And they're gunning for it here. I got them in the national championship game, and probably the game that people want to know who's gonna win. Very good. You can tell they're close. These are pretty high quality teams. Man, I can see Baylor easily. If Baylor gets their defensive focus back and their intensity, and they clean up their messes, clean up their turnovers, I can see them taking control of this game. But I gotta go with Illinois, baby. Ayo Dosunmu, Kofi Cockburn. I've seen this team in action. They're really good. And I see them making it all the way to the national championship game. Unfortunately, there's no surprises from me right now. But Gonzaga and Illinois, if you see, Illinois is good, but Gonzaga is that much better. And knowing what's probably going to happen in the tournament, I don't really see being anything against the norm. I see Gonzaga winning. It's so tough to see them. They have great guards. Jalen Suggs. Joel AI is a defensive monster. Corey Kispert's a phenomenal shooter. Inside they have Drew Timme. He's a footwork master. I mean, and they have great bench players. They have Andrew Nemhard as well. Florida transfer from University of Florida, who's really good. So there's really no flaws for this team. I don't see any. So when it comes to score, I think it's gonna be a pretty high scoring game. Illinois can score as well. I'm gonna go with 88-84. I will see this being a close game, but there's my bracket. I got Gonzaga winning. Let me know what you guys think of my bracket. Congratulations, you've chosen Gonzaga to win it all. Yes, I have. Let me know what you guys think of the teams that I picked. Also, let me know what you think of which teams you think are gonna win.